Chip Hips. I think it's available now and will be out in bookstores soon. 16-year-old Jessie, a baking aficionado, is shy, overweight, and worries too much about what people think. But one summer, a family emergency makes her realize that life is too short to live it on autopilot. Taking her life by the reins, she embarks on a journey that involves ditching the apron for her tank top as she hip-hop dances her way to new friendships, stronger family ties, and into her school's most elite club.
The beauty of hip-hop jam was that all my classmates were strangers. It was bad enough to be dancing in public, but I would just die if I had to show my freakish dance moves to someone I actually knew. Sure, it was a little awkward when I realized that I was the youngest student in the class. A handful of my college kids, and the rest was made up of mommies and yuppies. Later on, I came to appreciate the fact that everyone was older than I was, because it meant there was less chance of my bumping into anyone from school. So when I saw Dave's mom, my first reaction was to sprint the hell out of there. But I was afraid that since she was only 2 rows away from me, any sudden movement from my end would call attention. So I stayed rooted to my spot, agonizing over what I should do. And that's when it hit me. She didn't know me. It wasn't like Dave and I were friends and that I hung out in his house. I heaved a sigh of relief because the truth was, I didn't want to ditch class. When I finally gathered my wits, I realized that everyone was doing warm-ups and I was the only one standing as still as a pole. So, I moved. If dancing was a skill, so was not feeling self-conscious. I was getting good at tuning out my insecurities while I danced, and losing myself in learning the steps. The sweat started dripping. The feel-good brain chemicals kicked in, convincing me that I was doing the right thing, dancing like I really meant it. The effect was equivalent to having eaten a candy bar, but 10 times better because dancing was healthier. Dave's mom had the practiced smile of a performer. The whole time she gave us a sweeping look, and I relaxed because it meant that she really didn't recognize me. When we reached the part where we had to put together all the steps, the adrenaline was humming in my ears. I was all set to prove myself what I was capable of achieving. I looked at my reflection, feeling superhuman. Drenched hair, cheeks flushed, my heart thumping a wild rhythm. I could do this. And I did. Sure, I fumbled a bit in some of the parts, but the point was, I danced through the whole class without feeling like I had 2 left feet. It felt really good to let myself go. When class was over, the spell broke. I was Jessie again, and my paranoia returned. Just in case Dave's mom remembered me, I slipped out of the studio as fast as I could. I didn't even bother lining up in the restroom to change my shirt. As soon as I exited the door, I ran smack into something warm and solid. I jerked back and found myself staring at a white t-shirt.
Hey, I didn't expect to bump into you.
I looked up, instantly caught by melty brown eyes.
I mean, to literally bump into you.
Slowly, painfully, I broke away from the pull of those smiling eyes. Big mistake, because now I was ogling the bigger picture, Dave's gorgeous, heart-stopping face. No words came. I was officially an idiot.
Did you see my mom? She taught your class today.
Everything around us, which froze just a moment ago, when I had gazed into his eyes, suddenly resumed movement. People milled past. The gym's pipe and music floated from the speakers. The dance studio door swung open, coughing out my classmates. The horror of what Dave had just said crashed into me like a charging bull. He knew I was taking hip-hop jam. But Dave was oblivious as I staggered back, nearly having a heart attack. He was on a roll, chatting to me like I was his friend.
So, mom asked me to teach her some moves last night. It was so funny because she didn't know how to dance hip-hop. She looked like a rubber chicken when she did it the first time. Her movements were too soft.
Dave's covering his eyes while chuckling was the cutest sign in the world. He looked like a little boy who had just pulled a prank. I clamped my fascinated mouth shut when he looked at me eagerly.
So how was it? Did she mess up big time?
Talking behind my back, David, an austere voice behind us made both of us turn. Right there was his mom, hands on hips. She had the same pair of warm brown eyes, and hers were dancing. Dave grinned.
Yeah, just telling Jessie how you're such a quick learner.
He cut a knowing glance to me.
I'm sure you did great in your class.
His mom smirked. Sure. She then smiled at me, her smile widening. I didn't know you knew my charming son. You looked good back there. Really smooth dancing. I gaped at her, processing the implications of her words. Number one, she noticed me in class. And number two, she thought I was a good dancer. And most importantly, number three, she said these flattering words in front of Dave. The heat crept up my neck all the way to the roots of my frizzy hair in equal parts pleasure and embarrassment.
Mom, she's Jessie. Remember my playground friend in kinder?
Dave's mom fixed her eyes on me, perplexed. Oh no, she could not possibly remember me. Kindergarten was light years ago. Besides, there was an awkward incident back then when I peed in my pants. Please do not remember me, I prayed. Of course, she snapped her finger, and I panicked, almost peeing in my leggings. The girl with the springy curls, you look like a cute little doll, she commented, gushing. In fact, she gave Dave a fleeting, mischievous look. I seem to remember Dave confessing to me a crush that he had to you. The world had just ended. The heavens parted, and the angels descended, strumming their sweet music on gleaming golden harps. The teenage girls of the world stood below. Those whom Dave had a crush on were delegated to the right, while the rest stood on the left. I took my place on the right, while my heart sang the words to the angels' hymn. Dave had a crush on me, Dave had a crush on me.
Jeez, Mom.
Dave rolled his beautiful brown eyes.
That was so long ago.
The angelic voices stopped. My heart grew heavy, snapping free from the reins that held it up, then falling to the floor with a dull thud. Reality check. I was probably cute 12 years ago, but now I was just an entirely different being who was as attractive as masking tape. Oh, sorry, Dave's mom proceeded to tap her long tapered fingernails on her chin. Now, it's that Lala girl, right? The one who's constantly texting you?
Mom!
My heart shattered into bitter shards. So where are you off to, Jessie? Dave's mom was looking at me, smiling quizzically, blissfully unaware of the havoc she had just wreaked in my soul. I'll just be walking home, ma'am. Call me Tita Malu. Can we drop you off?
Let's.
Dave's face shone.
Mom, they make those delicious cakes we buy at the clubhouse.
Her eyes widened. Those are yours? She pulled me and inserted her hand through the crook of my arm. I flinched as my sweaty skin made contact with hers. But Dave's mom didn't seem revolted. In fact, her arm was sweaty too. That was one of the things I liked about gyms. Sweat was a given. It was celebrated. Then we must go now. Like a noble woman and her closest confidant, we went out of the gym, sweaty arm and sweaty arm. That's your third slice.
Thank you for pointing it out.
Dave grinned and bit into the soft sponge cake, the light brown icing smearing his two front teeth and the side of his mouth. I forced myself to look away. I cannot be sucked into the vortex that is his lips. Instead, my eyes landed on Dad and Tita Malu chatting away. Since we got here at the baking spoon, I've been mostly watching Dave eat. For once, the sight of someone eating our milk chocolate cake wasn't making me drool. What was I expecting anyway? In a fantasy world, someone like Dave would fall for me. In the real world, though, it was an entirely different story, because any sane guy would choose Lala over me.
So, have you decided on your piece yet?
I looked at him blankly. Piece? What piece? Piece of cake?
Go for audition.
He took in the rest of his cake in 3 quick bites. Of course, Dave didn't need to adhere to the eat slowly rule. Unlike me, he was far from being overweight.
Like Mom said, you're a natural. If you were able to follow the choreography she taught, then you're a shoo-in.
Once again, I checked for signs of a mouth twitch, of his fighting down laughter. But he seemed serious as he looked at me with steady eyes. You think I can be a hooper? Seriously.
If you need coaching, I'd be happy to help.
He smiled playfully.
In exchange for free cake, of course.
He brought out his phone.
I'm free most of the time since rehearsals are winding down. Just text me.
As nonchalantly as I could, I tapped his number into my phone book. Oh my gee, there it was, his name and number on my phone. There was a God. His phone rang.
Oh, thanks. I'll save your number.
I shook my head. That's not me. He squinted at his phone screen. His face became blank. After 2 more rings, he finally took the call.
Hey,
His voice was soft, and I held my breath.
nothing much, just hanging out.
Whoever he was talking to had a loud voice. From where I sat, I could hear the high-pitched voice gabbing as Dave gave his occasional replies of, and really. I was 99% sure it was Lala.
Okay, can I call you later? Okay? Okay, bye.
I looked at his plate. The chocolate cake crumbs looked forlorn, scattered and stark on the white porcelain. If it were me eating, I'd scrape the plate clean. I wouldn't want food to feel the way I was feeling right now. Forlorn and undesirable.
So, where were we?
I snapped my head up to see Dave smiling.
Oh yeah, your audition.
The image of him and Lala kissing blazed in my mind. No thank you. Being a hooper is not on my to-do list.
Why not?
If his type of girl was that pathetic, then he didn't deserve my respect. I looked at him straight in the eye. Whatever made me think they looked like milk chocolate, they looked like muddy puddles of water. Dave was like cake. I could easily give him up. It may come as a shock to you, but we don't all dream of being a hooper. You're a huge tarpaulin in school. It's like you're rubbing it in our faces that we're not as gorgeous and not as popular as you are. Dave stilled, his fork in midair because he had already begun scraping off the crumbs. The shock on Dave's face forced my bravado into a sputtering halt. It was then replaced by heaps of shame. Way to go, Jess, you just showed him how horribly insecure you are. Sorry, I mumbled, staring at the floor, wishing it would crack open and swallow me right at that moment. I could hear myself deeply breathing through the nose. The shop's pipe and music mixed with Tita Malu's laughter. Everyone was having fun, except me.
Hey,
I looked up just a tiny bit. Dave's head was bent low, willing my eyes to meet his. For the nth time that day, my heart broke. How is it possible for a guy to break my heart several times within the span of an hour? His eyes were soft and pleading, making him look like a lost pup.
I get really pushy sometimes. I didn't even ask you if you wanted to be a hooper. Sorry.
A tentative smile tugged at the corners of his mouth.
And just for the record, I think that tarpaulin is tacky.
You ready? We both looked up to see Tita Malu waving 2 large paper bags. I'd like to get home as soon as possible and commence the ruining of my diet. Also, we have to pick up Niffy from ballet and Dad will be home soon. Dave got to his feet quickly.
Okay, see you around, Jesse.
I stayed glued to my seat, composing my features. After that awkward situation, should I even force a smile? After Dave gave Dad a small wave and exited the shop, I buried my face in my arms. To punish my brain for not stopping my heart in time from putting those idiotic words in my mouth, I hit my forehead on the table several times. You okay? Dad called from the counter. Without raising my head, I gave him a thumbs up. I straightened up and held up my phone. Before my brain could figure out what I was doing, I furiously tapped the words and hit send. Dave, this is Jessie. The truth is, I want to be a hooper. Coach me?